The sailboat with one sailor would never return to port. No traces of its 20-foot hull, 15-foot masts, or sailor's body would be found. The sailor, a seasoned sailor, was correct in being assured that this day, like many others before it, would be perfect. He would be one of the few going forward who would not think about life's ability to suddenly end, a blessing he never expressed gratitude for. Water splashed over the side of the hull as the bow tipped down into the water. A satisfying slap resounded as the ship met the water. Then the bow lifted once again, ready to collide with the gentle waves forming on the horizon. The sway of the boat felt familiar to the sailor. He slightly adjusted his rudder, waiting for the sail to flutter, and pulled in his line. The boat pulled, and he could feel the wind catch the sail, tilting the ship and increasing his speed. "That's it, nice and steady," the sailor muttered to himself. He turned and watched the city behind him disappear, and he was left with only the ocean. A flock of birds caught his eye, and he followed their flight as they passed over his boat. He lost them as they went over the mainsail, and he waited for their return as they continued past back into his eyeline. He waited and did not see their return. Gently, he pulled his rudder in. The boat turned, and still no signs of the flock. Suddenly the rudder snapped, slamming the sailor. The ship thrust sideways, and the mast slammed into the sailor's head. The sailor watched in pained disbelief as the bow of the ship turned to ash. The ship lunged forward as momentum carried the now rapidly sinking ship towards a solid wall of ash where once the front of his boat had been. The sailor slid forward as the stern of the ship lifted up. Water filled the cabin, and the once gentle waves now pulled the sailor towards his end. He held the end of the boat, frantically kicking his feet as water splashed beneath him. This sudden line of ash was fast approaching him as it devoured the remainder of his ship. It was as if all that fell into this unmarked line in space immediate was reduced to ash. He let out a primal shriek as the boat lunged again sideways and pulled his leg into the ash wall, like the boat beneath it. His leg turned to ash. Water filled whatever was left of the boat and pulled the sailor fully into this horrid line of destruction. His screams were quickly silenced, replaced by the lapping of the water. The ash wall subsided, and whatever happened to the sailor, and his ship was carried away in the wind with his screams.